Oh my God, Bella, who's your celebrity crush right now? I'm so glad you asked. It's actually David Cornsweet, guy that plays Superman. He's so hot. He's 6'4". He's so nerdy. He's just weird in the best way. And he's 6'4". Second I saw that big dude, I mean, just like gnawing at the bars of my enclosure. Speaking of going nuts over a man, let's actually talk about this weird ass situation that's happening on TikTok. What an intro. Hi everyone, it's Isabella here, and you guys know the drill. Today's video, we are talking about something that has blown up on social media that was not on my regularly scheduled content that I was preparing for you guys. But we are talking about an individual by the name of Kendra who is obsessed with her psychiatrist and is pretty much has made a multi-part series on TikTok talking about how she fell in love with her therapist, and she's making a lot of bold claims about him, okay? Like talking about how he's manipulative, how he made her fall in love with him, like lots of contradictions and crazy things. So I want to give you a brief conversation about that, but additionally, I want to talk about something that I don't see enough people discussing about this entire crazy fiasco. Kendra is not only having a severe breakdown, in my opinion, on TikTok, but she's also allegedly scamming people while pretending to be a professional herself in the mental health space. Yeah, which is very, very bad. And if you guys do or don't know, I'm someone who, man, if I see a scam, an alleged scam, anything in that degree, I'm on that shit. So that is what we're covering. We're talking about this psychiatrist. We're talking about Kendra, who has created this entire situation. And then we're going to be reacting to one of her alleged victims from her mental health courses that she's selling. So this is, when I tell you this is the biggest shit show, truly, like grab a snack, grab a drink, buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride for y'all. So before you hop into today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below so you'll be notified of every single video I post. Also, I have my TikTok, Instagram, second channel, everything. So if you guys want more of this, if you guys want more of me, then go hang out with me over there. Real quickly though, I also want to introduce you guys to the sponsor of today's video. Today I'm partnering with Beyond Meat because I want to talk to you about plant-based product while I actually show you my favorite plant-based burger that I make. So there's a lot of talk about plant-based meat, but there's some things that I don't think a lot of people actually know. So Beyond Meat is made from simple ingredients like peas, red lentils, and avocado oil. And that's on the label, so you can double check me on that. And how they actually get that meaty texture is something that's similar to like when you make pasta, called extrusion, which is essentially a process of heating, cooling, and pressure to make that texture that we all know and love. So there's no mystery, it's just food science in the work, which is really cool. Now, as a gym girl, I'm trying to keep up with my protein intake. And fun fact, a burger patty that I was actually looking at was 21 grams of protein, and this one right here, 21 grams of protein. So I'm not missing out on my protein intake at all right now by making this. This new Beyond Burger has only 2 grams of saturated fat, which is 75% less than a typical 80-20 beef burger. And it actually has 0 cholesterol. It's made with non-GMO ingredients and avocado oil for healthy fats, which is something I use in my kitchen all the time. I'm partnering with Beyond Meat so that way we can understand what plant-based protein actually is, instead of just having like a taboo assumption. So in conclusion, read labels, ask questions, and make choices that actually work for you and your lifestyle. That's why I call it good burger. So if you want, you guys can go down the link in the description below or pin comment and learn more about Beyond Meat and try out some of their products for yourself. Thank you so much to Beyond Meat for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get into it. Bye. This is gonna be a video that is a lot about combating misinformation. So I'm gonna be honest with you, I am somebody where I got the anxiety, I got the depression, the PMDD, I got it. It's got me, and I've whooped its ass back. So you get the vibe. So if you are someone who struggles in the mental health department and you've gone through that, depending on where you're at, what you've been diagnosed with, you just know it sucks. It's very, very tough. And so when you need to go see somebody, that's really important. I am someone that advocates to go, if you have the means and capacity, go see a therapist, go see a psychiatrist, like go talk to somebody, because truly they're very helpful. Like my therapist is immaculate. Mental health professionals are a huge need in society, and I am so grateful. However, this story is very chaotic because we're now introducing Kendra. So Kendra is somebody who has made, like I said, a multi-part series on TikTok talking about how she has allegedly fallen in love with her therapist. Now, there are multiple parts of this, okay? Like, I cannot get through. So what I am gonna do is, just to give you a quick vibe of what we're doing, I will link her TikTok in the description below. This is not any encouragement to harass somebody. Do not do that, okay? But if you want to watch the entire marathon of content, you definitely can go do that. To summarize it, I'm gonna have some clips that are playing right here for you guys.
I fell in love with my psychiatrist, and he knew, and he kept me until I had the strength to leave after 4 years. Here it is, part 1. I was full-blown obsessed with my psychiatrist. I would beg him to let me see him every week. Beg him, because I was fully addicted to him. And then I started talking to my psychiatrist about my sex life. I proceeded to give him 30 minutes of non-stop content about my intimate life with my boyfriend. Actually recorded the whole thing because I was so excited about it. He didn't ever ask me to give him sexual content. I did that on my own. Coming to my psychiatrist, looking for emotional validation. In my 3rd session with him, I said, hey, do you mind if I call you by your first name? I put my own life under seeing him. Even though I usually wear contacts, I'm wearing these turtle shell glasses in these videos because just in case he sees them ever, he'll see me in his favorite glasses. I just gaslit myself. I start emailing him my fun little emails, but he stops writing me back. I was like, I want to see him in person. Some people may think that this is me harassing him, which is what I've gotten lots of. I was just thrilled to meet him. And I ran up and I gave him the biggest hug. And you know what he did? He barely patted me on the back. And I told him at the end of the session, you and I have a really special patient-doctor relationship. And he glared at me with just venom in his eyes. And he said, you and I have a professional patient-doctor relationship. He was so angry with me. Oh, okay. He set a boundary. People are asking me what my mental health diagnosis is. I do not have BPD. I do not have psychosis.
And she's just showing things along the lines of saying that she with the psychiatrist for many years and she completely had a major crush on him. She fell in love with him. She was doing things to appease him. And apparently she has made a lot of claims about how this individual was manipulative and calculated and controlling her and doing a lot of things that a psychiatrist should not be doing. Now, from some of these clips I'm going to show you guys, a couple things I want to address real quickly because I think this is a great foundation to show why we need to be really careful with who we listen to on social media, but additionally who we buy and take coaching from on social media. So this individual is making a lot of statements about psychiatrists and a lot of things that they should be doing. Now I have to just kind of make this statement because I went out immediately. I was texting my friends in the mental health space and I was like, hey, like, what are your thoughts? I need to know professional opinions, etc. And so after multiple conversations, I was able to have a great conclusion that when it comes to a psychiatrist or a therapist, a lot of decisions are made behind scenes to make sure that the best decision is made for you. Now, again, mental health professionals, psychiatrists, like therapists, comment down below. Like, this is your time to shine. I love when I get more information from other people and my viewers. When it comes to having like somebody that is your client, you do things that set boundaries. Sometimes you have to redirect. Sometimes you actually don't get rid of a client because if they don't have a consistent pattern with maybe staying with a therapist or a psychiatrist, or maybe that could do more harm for them in the long run than good, then some psychiatrists will keep said client to do their best and absolute best as they can to help somebody who may not be in a very good position at this time. This is why people go for years of education to become said psychiatrists and therapists, because you need to have these credentials so you know how to handle very unique situations at hand. So this is not a very like sit down with your best friend, you get advice and then that's it. This is a very calculated job, as it should be. And not to mention when it comes to psychiatrists, there's HIPAA, right? So there's certain things that they cannot ever say and do, otherwise they will get massive fines, they will lose their license, they could potentially go to jail. With what we know about Kendra and how she's talked about the psychiatrist, the consensus of the internet is essentially she has some problems and she is claiming this psychiatrist is doing things that do not sound true at all. The truth is allegedly getting very manipulated by her and swayed. And additionally, to kind of back that up, a lot of people especially believe that due to the fact that Kendra has started to weaponize AI. She is now utilizing AI. She's named her ChatGPT Henry. She's named it Henry, which that's not good. And then she has another one that's I think the Claudia AI. I'm not familiar with it. I'm sorry. But she's also named and utilizing. So she's been going on live streams talking about the situation, trying to bring awareness, simultaneously talking to this AI and using it as like an additional therapist practically. We're not doing good. So we have an individual who, in my opinion, is not very stable. And so when we know the backstory of Kendra and how rough this is, like I wouldn't trust a pet goldfish with her, quite frankly, with what's happening right now. Now, show of hands class, which one of y'all would trust her to help you with your ADHD? No, Okay, so that's what she's selling to us. I want to do a quick rundown of her coaching, and then we're going to show, and I'm going to react to a whole multi-part series of someone who has come out as an alleged victim of Kendra and her coaching. So this is like, oh my God, this is just nuts. So this is her home website. Let me actually pull it up. I'm going to pull it up on my laptop so I can see. My eyesight's getting kind of bad, guys. Kendra Hilty, ADHD mindset coach, spiritual response therapy practitioner, yoga teacher. Coaching card says, hello, welcome to your path to real change. Change is when we switch the phone from on to off. Kendra, is that what we're gonna do? Living with ADHD brings unique challenges, but it also holds powerful potential. If you're ready to unlock that potential, you're in the right place. The coaching practice focuses on 3 key areas designed to help you live confidently, manage your time, and embrace a healthy lifestyle that works for you. Boost self-esteem and break negative beliefs. Build confidence by reframing limiting beliefs and embrace your unique strengths and values. 2, master time and achieve your goals. Learn ADHD-friendly strategies for planning time management. Set goals that align with your life, then create a path to reach them. And 3, cultivate health in body, mind, and relationships. Establish routines for exercise and nutrition that energizes you. Nurture fulfilling connections for a balanced life. Ready to transform your ADHD experience? Let's get started. I have been hooting and hollering, bitched, yapped, complained a lot on this channel about coaching. That coaching is heavily unregulated. When we start touching the health and wellness, the fitness coaching, and the mental health space, we should never, as someone who I have been in the trenches of mental health before, it's not fun. And I have many friends and family who have suffered severely with certain situations, even with ADHD. It is so 5 different levels of for you to go out of your way, and you can't even get a grip on yourself right now, to claim that you can coach and guide someone. And I would like to know if any of you guys are seeing this and are in this field, is she riding the line of legality? Like, because that's what I'm thinking that she is. I think she's like a hop, skip, and a jump away from the head of her state to go, not you. That is incredibly dangerous. Like, we should never, no coaching, please. Okay, next page says SRT, which is spiritual response therapy. You're here for a reason. Something in you is ready to release, heal, and elevate. Spiritual response therapy is a powerful energy healing modality that works with your high self. I'm so sorry. I'm struggling here. Your high self to clear subconscious blocks, limiting beliefs, and soul level patterns that may be holding you back. Using a pendulum. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Y'all, it's killing me not to pop a joke right now. Okay. Using a pendulum and a system of specialized charts, like, the ones you put like the gold stickers on when you went to grade school. I like those. I connect with divine guidance to uncover and clear the root causes of emotional, mental, and energetic imbalances, allowing you to step into more alignment, clarity, and ease. Whether you're feeling stuck, struggling with repeating patterns, or simply curious about how this deep clearing work can shift your energy, SRT offers a transformative experience tailored to you. Oh my God, I'm gonna rip my hair out of my head. People are so awful on the internet. Like, honestly, what do you mean? You want to find naive, vulnerable people? Pretty damn obvious that's your target demographic. Because instead of going, hey, I actually am seeing a super good therapist right now, I would love to put you on. I think it's a good idea. You say, people who have degrees in education? I took a class online that was 2 business hours. I have a Canvas certificate, a pendulum, and a will to try. I would love to take you on as my patient. Bird brain. I'm a yoga instructor known for my passion, unique approach, and inspirational instructing style that embodies physical, spiritual, and mental strength. Since I started teaching in 2010, I've been sought out by businesses to lead corporate yoga classes, yoga studios to teach workshops, and Yoga International to film for their website. Now it's your turn. So a yoga class, superb. Now let's book online, guys. So if we want to book Kendra, because we are going through it, let's look at her services. Oh my God. Services, online tutoring, $20 an hour. On what exactly? Unless you're teaching the ABCs, there's no fucking way you should be tutoring anyone. Test prep, $20. For what? What are you prepping anyone? I am literally seeing spelling errors in this entire site, and you want to prep people on testing? Homeschooling. Okay, now here's where the spiritual response therapy sessions are kicking in. An hour and 15 minutes. It's an online coaching, so you get on a Zoom or maybe FaceTime, whatever she's available for. And it's $222 USD. And Kendra's pretty available, it looks like. Now that we've got that out of the way, I want to show you guys, because this popped up on my For You page and I was like, oh, this is literally so bad. And I do not see enough people talking about this. Let's highlight the alleged victim of Kendra's who got coached by her. I know I'm gonna get pissed off. I just saw it a little bit and I saved everything because I'm trying to save the anger for 4K viewing for you all. My stomach hurts because I know this is such bullshit.
Okay, so this is really awkward, guys. I actually know Kendra, who fell in love with her psychiatrist. I've actually known her for many years, and I was one of her coaching clients for the last 3 months. And to say that I am really disturbed and confused and like not feeling really great about this would like be an understatement. So definitely, if you guys want, I'll get into it and talk about the coaching and kind of like my thoughts and feelings afterwards. I mean, I don't really have any thoughts one way or another about like her psychological state, really. Well, maybe I do, but like, I'm an accountant. I'm not really someone who can like diagnose or anything, but I can talk about like what happened in our sessions and just kind of like, I became one of her clients like right after she stopped using both her therapist and this like psychiatrist guy. And now that I know that, that really does add like an additional negative layer to like our experience together. So let's get into it. Okay, so like I mentioned, I guess this is going to be like part one of, I don't know, I'm going to try to keep it short. I'm not trying to do like 30 parts, guys. I just really need to talk about it. So I've actually known Kendra since 2018. We both used to live in the same city in Oregon. And we actually met through an extracurricular activity that we were both in and became like really good friends while we lived out there. In 2020, I moved away, and then shortly after she moved to where she is now. And as with like a lot of things in 2020, we kind of like lost touch. And so like we weren't like texting each other all the time, but we were like still friends on Instagram. And over time, like she made it very public when she went sober, and I just always kind of remembered that and supported her. And this past spring, I had an incident where I was in a position where like I really needed to go on a sobriety journey, and I was at like a really low point, and I was just like, who can I reach out to that I know that's like been through this? And
I have to pause this because I think this is a great time to talk about, I don't want anyone to be like, well, she should have known better. She should have known better. I think every single one of us has had a moment where we, quote, should have known better or been naive and we trusted the wrong people. So I want to make this very clear. The idea of blaming her, I hate that, because while yes, I agree that we need to have a level of like discernment when we're spending money, it happens to the best of us, and it's embarrassing and it's difficult, especially when we're going through it. So that's why like I'm really trying to make it very clear of like, I understand when people get sucked into stuff like this, and that's why I'm angry at people like Kendra for selling shit like this and putting themselves out and acting as if they know a lot or they can help or guide you, because when people are desperate, they'll look for anything, and sometimes this is like a better option, or oh well, I know her, I trust her, she's nice. Like sometimes when we think of the bad guy, sometimes the bad, dangerous person is not always the stranger down the street. Sometimes it's the people that we know though. And so when we forget that it absolutely can be people that we know, sometimes our guard is down and we're like, oh, well, it can't be that bad. She probably can help me. So this is sad. And this is what happens when I see people getting scammed, is the vulnerable individuals who are desperately needing something and support will fall into this stuff. It just happens. So, oh my God, like that's why I'm so adamant about like, always check credentials, always be overly cautious. Like you're not wrong or mean or a bad person for checking if your friend has credentials to do something. It is not wrong or inappropriate. And if someone gets offended by that, that's a red flag.
And I thought of Kendra and I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder, I hope that like she'd be able to like talk to me about it, like as a friend. We had been friends for a really long time. And I was really hoping that like as a friend, she would be able to like help me with this new journey that I was going to go on. So I had reached out to her, and that's when she basically like tried to get me to do her coaching. Okay, I'm going to try to input the screenshot from her text, but I'm not great at TikTok, so TBD. But
Okay, so here's a screenshot. It says, hey Kendra, it's Emily Blank reaching out to see if you have some time this week to chat sobriety/starting that journey. And then she said, hi Emily, good to hear from you. I love to chat. Use my link to book a discovery call and let's meet on Zoom. Don't worry about the questions asking about paying for coaching. Glad you reached out. Talking to you soon. Coaching application. So either way, it blows my mind how Kendra has the audacity to say that a psychiatrist should have redirected, which I'm betting my left tit on that he probably did. Yet she didn't sit and go, I am not qualified to lead or help somebody when it comes to sobriety. I am not ready or capable for that, but I'm going to take it anyways. That is sick and twisted.
I had like reached out to her for some advice and she told me to book a session and that we would talk more about it. This should have been a red flag. Okay, so I guess this is part 2 of I don't know who the hell I was friends with and let coach me and take advantage of me at like a really vulnerable time in my life. Okay, so like I mentioned, you can like scrub through my last video and see like the screenshot of the text between us. But basically I had like reached out to her for help with sobriety and she said, great, let's hop on Zoom and have a conversation about it. So we did a few days later, and this was like in March earlier this year. And we like talk about like what prompted me to want to go sober and just kind of like her experience with sobriety and everything. And she then starts the pitch of like, I do think like it'd be really great if we like didn't just talk as friends, like if we really worked on this together in a coaching relationship, and that like this is really crazy that like I've been brought to her and like this must be like divine intervention that we're like coming back into each other's lives.
Oh, divine intervention. This is another thing that I have to point out is some of these woo-woo ass, goofy ass, weirdo scamming ass individuals like to do the divine intervention. Now, whatever you believe in is what you believe in, okay? I get pissed though when it's weaponized for wrong thing. If you believe in divine intervention, stupendous. I love that. I get pissed when someone utilizes those things though and weaponizes it for their own personal benefit or gain to get somebody else into a bad situation. Because I'm sorry, there's no reason a person who is selling this and knows they has no credentials actually thinks this is somehow divine intervention. Like I genuinely cannot comprehend how you think you're doing good. I do not fathom or understand that. And what kills me is, from what I'm aware, I don't see anything showing that Kendra has taken a class. Like honestly, I truly think it's just her herself and just really weaponizing this and going, I want to do this and I want to sell. Oh my God. When people are in such bad positions and you like that is so fucked.
And everything. And I was like, yeah, like I think it could be great, but I still just like need a little bit of time to think about it. Cause like, again, a lot of stuff was going on with me at the time. And she said, well, normally it is like ADHD coaching, but like I'm more than happy to do like sobriety coaching with you. I've already sent you the invoice.
Normally it's ADHD coaching, but I want to help you with sobriety. That is crazy. Another red flag that I want to point out with coaches is some of them will stick their hands in everything. And this is another thing that blows my mind. And I actually highlighted this in another video. I definitely want to go into it further. When I see the like influencer coaches or the branding coaches, the fake podcasters, we've highlighted that before. They talk about influencers. They talk about business owners. They talk about so like it's not, you know, when you go to like a restaurant that has like a buffet of everything except for it's a bad buffet. Now I like those buffets. I'm not shitting on them. Those are phenomenal. When they have everything and everything, I love them. But when you have a bad buffet with a bunch of shit and you're not perfecting one dish, that's kind of a problem. You know what I mean? You can't do it all. Same vibe. They want to stick their hands into anything to get your money. It's not about, I know this one thing and I'm good at it and I'm certified and I'm slowly expanding. It's boom, I'm gonna do it all.
And the contract design. And I said, I really would like to think about it. And she's like, now's the time. Don't think, just do. Like,
don't think, just do? I'm sorry. 1 second, please. You mean to tell me that an ADHD coach says don't think, just do? So someone who struggles with ADHD, okay, who's trying to help people with ADHD, okay, is saying don't think, just do. Isn't that the golden rule of what not to do? If you have impulses, is to say, hey, wait, like let's pump the brakes, slow down the train, and let's think about this. You sick fuck. Oh my God.
You won't regret doing it. So I see the invoice, and the invoice is for $3,000 for 3 months. And these are gonna be like once a week, 45-minute long sessions.
3,000 3,000 USD, $3,000, 3,000 American Girl doll hairs, 3,000 coins. $3,000, you could literally get a wonderful, amazing licensed individual. You could get a hell of a lot more. I'm livid that somebody would genuinely go out of their way to take advantage of somebody who is struggling. That's so evil, especially in this industry. Because some people, I'm gonna be honest, like there are some people I know who have had like negative experiences with like therapists or whatnot. So in an industry that genuinely needs to be nothing but support, education, and so much more, you stick your nose in it, want to charge $3,000?
I just got really caught up in the moment, and I said, you know what? And I was really desperate. I think that's like a key thing. I was really desperate, and I did. I signed the contract and I tried to pay. And my card wouldn't go through because it was like an unknown vendor through Stripe, and my bank was like, we're not going to authorize this payment. And I was like, oh, well, it won't go through.
And that's what we call divine intervention. I know that's right.
Friday night, like I'll just call in the morning and like get it sorted out. And she's like, I really want you to do it right now. Call your bank right now and I'll like stay on the phone with you. So we're like on Zoom and I'm like calling my bank, and I tried for like 30 minutes and none of it was working. And eventually I was just like, okay, I'm like, it's not working. I'm just gonna have to try again in the morning. And I don't know why I felt like I was being held hostage. I was in my home office. I was on Zoom.
Now I want to circle back real quickly to Kendra talking about her psychiatrist. That poor man, that poor guy, who by the way has had some of his information accidentally aired out by Kendra. That's so convenient. Poor guy can't even defend himself because of HIPAA. Yet she's doing that. Absolutely insane. She says she's been feeling like she's being held hostage. I can't even imagine what the psychiatrist was thinking. Imagine getting onto your scheduling program and going, Kendra, fuck, not her. He makes you hate your job, I'm sure. I can't even imagine the persistence that that poor guy had to unfortunately deal with. And he was just doing his job, doing the best that he could.
I could have just like hung up the call, and I honestly wish I did. But again, I was just like at a really low point and kept going, and that's on me. And I soon learned to regret it. So yeah, I guess in the next part I'll talk about like what our coaching was look like, and then in the fourth part I'll do like how we ended. Okay, so yes, I did just pay $3,000 for her. So this is mid-March. And I will say, like at the beginning, a lot of the technique, I am glad that like at that really low point, I did have someone who like was for all intents and purposes like on my team. Where it started getting weird is like when I did my intake form, she did mention something about like human design, and I'd never heard about human design, and I genuinely thought that it was going to be like some sort of like psychology thing, or just kind of talking about how like we're like naturally inclined to like drink and like have addictive personalities. And boy, was I wrong. Human design is like similar to astrology. It uses your birth chart and it tells you like what kind of type you are. And if I had to guess, I don't really buy into human design, if I'm going to be 100%. After 3 months of learning about it, I'm not into it. And that is like mainly what drove our coaching, was human design. And if I do believe that's like what a lot of her ADHD coaching is like talking about your human design. So she does my chart, and it comes to find out that like I'm in like the 1% of people.
Oh my God. So not only is she doing a bunch of shit that is not recommended by mental health professionals, but she's trying to incorporate processes and charge people for that could potentially, from what I'm thinking, be harmful to those who are actually struggling.
Finger of God. And she kept talking about how like I'm the finger of God. That would come up like all throughout like the 3 months that we were talking. It's just like, I'm a finger of God, and when this like reckoning happens in 2027 in the new world order.
Oh my God. Okay, this sounds really crazy, but the way that, you know how I was saying how Kendra uses AI for her therapy, or like, I think that's what she's doing now. She's utilizing AI way too much though. Wanna bet that she was utilizing AI for her coaching stuff. Like I would fully bet my left lip that she is weaponizing AI to develop some of her coaching and teachings. And one thing I have a problem with when it comes to AI is like, it is only as good as the coding and programming that the human beings have like put it in. Like it's gonna error, right? So if you utilize it for like therapy, information, etc., it is very prone to error. It'll definitely stray you away, or if you utilize it as therapy, it will start like agreeing with you. So I think that Kendra was utilizing AI for this coaching, and this is why I keep yapping about these coaches, because you know how many of these coaches say, oh, well, I mean, I use AI for content or this, but like not for my coaching. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You're literally selling things for thousands of dollars that you're whipping from ChatGPT. Like, be embarrassed. More shame. Public shame needs to be introduced a little bit more in 2025 and on, you know?
Comes through that like I'm going to be one of the people who's like really leading it. And I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. I don't really know how this is like relevant to sobriety. And that is truthfully like when I started to check out. It was probably like a month and a half into our session. So it's like mid-May at this point. She was also out of town for a part of it. So like we started sessions like early April. April was fine. May it started to get weird. And the rest of the sessions in June, I just like hated it. All we would talk about is like human design, but we wouldn't even really like talk about it and discuss it. She would just like read from this book and talk about like the guru or like the guy who like came up with human design. And it was just like, it was weird and bizarre. And I didn't like it. And it also just like wasn't helpful at all.
Yeah, that's what happens when unlicensed individuals like to pretend that they're allegedly licensed individuals. Is it doesn't make sense. It doesn't end up helping you out. You quite literally should have taken that $3,000, got a really cute hop and glider and boom, and just lit that shit up on fire. That would have been more entertaining than anything.
So I like basically started to check out, and like luckily our sessions were like starting to come to an end, which like thank God, because in June is when it got really fucking weird. And this is when ChatGPT came into the picture. Basically I start disengaging in our sessions, and I think she's really picking up on it, and she's just like reading me all this shit about human design. And then she also starts doing this thing with cognitive behavioral therapy, which I am familiar with CBT. She is not licensed to do CBT. And when we first started our sessions, she like made sure to like reiterate that like she wasn't a licensed therapist and therefore like isn't going to do things like that. And then turned around months later and started doing cognitive.
Oh my God. Guys, again, this is what I'm talking about. Remember the buffet analogy? Remember that? They will do this shit. People who are going to scam you will suddenly act like they can fix everything for you, because if you have coins that you're willing to spend, they're going to find whatever it is that will convince you to hand those coins over. This is illegal. At this point, somebody needs to get involved, like genuinely. And this is why I call this stuff out, because people are going to lose money. They could I'm sorry. And like, I'm not even trying to say this to be funny. Could this potentially lead to like a relapse? I'm not kidding. Like, what could this do to somebody? Because they're going through it and so exhausted and over it, especially if she's not letting up or is making people feel like they can't go or stop. This is so bad.
Therapy. And this is also when she started talking about Henry, aka ChatGPT. And
That's it. That's enough. I'm done. I quit. I'm done. I really need to get outside. What the fuck? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Henry. Y'all, remember? Henry's her ChatGPT. Henry, self-destruct. I'm about ready to download ChatGPT and say, hey, if you know a Kendra Hilty and she calls you Henry, self-destruct right now. Shut down. Actually, what do I need to say to make you stop? Not real. I'm so sorry. Like it's, but it's like, I'm laughing because I'm like, there's no way. There's no way.
I'm not very, like, I use artificial intelligence at work, like it's very encouraged. So like, I'm very familiar with like what these language learning models are like. And I know that like, you can't just like start asking it random shit about yourself, like at all. That is how spiritual psychosis happens. And truthfully, that might just be what's happening at this point. So she's like encouraging me to use ChatGPT for cognitive behavioral therapy, which is super dangerous.
Holy shit. Okay, yeah. Hey, this is your PSA. I love you. I really do. And if you're going through it, I've been there. Probably not the same as you, but I've definitely raw dogged it through depression, okay? I'm just saying, please don't do this. If you need help, there are resources, there are hotlines. I know there's some programs that will offer to help make more affordable therapy. Even there's sometimes I've seen things become free. Like there's a lot. Please Google, ask, please. This is going to hurt people. And if we encourage individuals to utilize AI, that could put people in such a bad position for their mental health. Like if we want a BetterHelp 2.0, but double it, that's what we're going to see. BetterHelp has been causing problems for some people in the mental health space. We could see a whole different new problem of AI therapy that is harming more people mentally. And that is what we do not need that right now. And this is why I am so angry at coaches who because there's no regulation with the coach. Anyone can call themselves a coach. I could literally say, hi guys, I'm an anti-scam coach. You see how stupid I sound right there? You see how dumb as shit I sound? Exactly. Do not trust these people. And telling somebody to use a free app that does not know enough about you, that has not gone through hours and years of education to get you through that kind of therapy, holy shit.
And I don't even know, like, I can't even tell you like how crazy that is to me. And that's when I was like, okay, like we're done. How many more sessions do we have? Can we end this nightmare? So luckily my sobriety is going well, because coaching's definitely not. So I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to use ChatGPT. And she was just like, I would just really encourage you to do it. And at this point, we only have like one session left. And she's like, I really think that you would be a great candidate to do this past life therapy that I've really been working on. And so she essentially decided to use me like as a guinea pig to get into past life therapy. And I am not into it. Like, do I kind of believe in past lives? Sure. Do I think that like this random chick that I know from Oregon who has now telling me to use ChatGPT for my therapist is going to help me discover what past life blockages are like helping me? Absolutely the fuck not. So we get on Zoom, and she's trying to do this through Zoom. So we get on Zoom, and she starts asking the spirit and doing all this stuff, and we just start like speed running through these past lives. And like, I'm dying, I'm killing people. I say, hell yeah. She said that's really not a good thing, whatever. But basically, like, that was our last session. She's like, you should totally leave me a review. And I was like, I'm going to be honest, Kendra, I am not going to do that.
Kendra, not going to give you a Yelp review. Kendra, on a scale of 1 to 10, there's no number to describe how utterly disappointed I am. Okay, I know we can giggle, and I'm laughing genuinely because like I'm so uncomfortable and shocked by this, but really, like, my big lesson by this is why I say you don't know these coaches. You do not know these people. And I am like, I have favorite podcasters, I have favorite creators, like I get that. But when we step into the line of let me sell you a coaching course, we're getting a little too, like, I would be very careful. And again, I want to make this clear. There are some people who are certified, who are capable, who can give you guidance and whatnot. But a lot of those people went to school, have certifications, or lots and lots of experience to back up their claims. But people who are selling coaching in business, mental health, fitness, a lot of people are damaging these industries so badly. And so many people can't even get to the licensed professionals or the ones who are educated and have the certifications because there's thousands and thousands of people slapping on a label of coach and running with it. I truly think that somebody, I don't know who this needs to be reported to, but this needs to be reported, because this is not just some lady who is yapping about her psychiatrist. This is somebody who, in my opinion, is going to put people in severe harm's way. And I think that could lead to potential lawsuits and so much more, because it doesn't matter if you're like, well, I'm not a therapist. If you're doing things that could harm people, I do think that you could definitely get in some legal trouble for this. So all I'm going to say is be careful. This is another crazy story. I'm not surprised, because I swear every time some scandal pops up, there's a scam behind it. It's nuts. That was it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. But moral of this entire video, do your research, read, check things, check certifications, you name it. Just look into things a little bit just to protect yourself. And again, if you've been scammed or taken advantage of, I'm not shitting on you, but I'm definitely encouraging you to do as much due diligence as you can, because you don't want to end up wasting $3,000 on someone who tells you to use AI for therapy. So there's that. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to check out today's sponsor in the link in the description below. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.